Okay, this first one. Before you try to, can anybody tell me what answer they got for this one?
10. 10
You got
squared.
10 squared. Okay. Right. So let's see if this one is correct. The rule that would apply here is this one. The second one that we learned. A to the power of n divided by a to the m. What we do, we subtract the powers. So this would give me a to the power of n minus m. Okay. I know that I could apply this rule for this question because the bases are the same. They're both 10. And that's why I could say 10 to the power of 9 divided by 10 to the power of 7 is going to give me 10 to the power of 9 minus 7, which is equal to 10 squared. But of course, if they ask you to simplify, and you could simplify further, you should simplify further. 10 squared is 100. So everybody good with this one?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Next question. So remember, if you could simplify further, you should simplify further. So instead of just leaving 10 squared, we know that 10 squared is 100. So you should put 100, right? Next question. It says x to the power of 4 and this whole thing squared. So what rule would apply here? That's all you have to do, huh? Look at the question. If you see that it involves indices, okay, you go back to your rules, your list of rules, the laws of indices, and then you decide which law you're going to. That's
So
all
this
you
would
have
be
to
2x 60, 2x 60,
do. Wait, repeat.
2x 16.
2x 16. That's what you just said?
Yes, miss.
Okay, hold on. This is what you're saying. Oh my, what you're saying? 2x 16?
Yes, miss.
Okay. The rule that would apply here is this one. So a number raised to the power of n, and then this whole thing raised to the power of m. This is the same as a to the power of n m. We know that nm is the same as n multiplied by m. So now looking at the question we have, I'm looking at the law that we would apply. My n, in this case, would be 4. The a, which is the base, would be x. Look here, look here. And then the m would be 2. M, 2. If you're not seeing it, please let me know. If you don't understand how I identified N, A, and M, let me know, right? But I could just eyeball the question and eyeball the law and be able to tell you what's A, N, and what's M. So if you can't, if you don't understand how I got those, please let me know. Right. So according to the law, A to the power of 4, and then this whole thing squared is supposed to give me, let me use blue. So x, you put back your base, and then so this is supposed to give me 4 multiplied by 2. You multiply the powers in this case. And what's 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. And that is why this right here is my answer.
Oh, I was wrong there.
So do you know where you went wrong? No.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
That's what's most important. It's okay if you get it wrong. What's most important is you understand why you got it wrong and you fix it so you don't make the same mistake next time. Can anybody tell me what answer they got for this one? Anybody? Anybody got an answer for this one? No?
Miss Sylvie, 8x cubed y to the fourth power.
To the power of 4. Okay, let's see if you're correct. So what rule, anybody, what rule do you think I would apply here? Anybody? I have two exponentials multiplying by each other. So I have x multiplied by x squared, and I have y cubed multiplied by y. So which rule or law you think would apply here? Okay, well, let me just tell you. So it would be this one, a to the power of n, where n is some number, multiplied by something with the same base. So remember, the bases must be the same, multiplied. So a to the power of n multiplied by a to the power of m. What you do in this case, you add the indices. So looking at our example here now, our question. 4 times 2, we know we multiply those like usual. So 4 times 2, that's 8. That's not what we paying attention to. What we're trying to figure out is how exactly are we going to multiply these exponentials. So it would be x multiplied by x squared. X, if I just have x by itself, it's understood, it's implied that this has a power of 1. And according to this rule, two exponentials with the same base, when multiplying them, I would add their powers. And that is why this would become x cubed. So I put x cubed there. You do the same for y. They have y cubed multiplied by y. When I know that y, it's understood that it has a power of 1. Why does it have a power of 1? You're probably asking yourself. Well, anything. So say I have a number, so this is my base. Anything raised to the power of 1 is itself. And that's why if I have y, if I just see y by itself, it's understood that y has a power of 1. So just to clear up that, right? Back to this. Y cubed multiplied by y to the power of 1, according to this rule, are going to add their powers. And 3 plus 1, that's 4. So that's why I have y to the power of 4. And I put this right here. And this answer is correct. So good job. Everybody good with this?
Yes, miss.
Okay. If you're not good with it, let me know. Next question. Anybody who's writing this? Or I could clear it. Okay, I think I can clear it. 27 raised to the power of a half multiplied by 3 raised to the power of a half. Can anybody tell me what answer they got for this one? Going once.
I got the square root of 27 by the square root of 3. And then I multiplied it and got 4. The fourth root, the 81.
So you tell me this is your answer. Okay. Right? This is what you tell me is the answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You're asking me or you're telling me?
Yeah.
Answer too.
Repeat that.
I have also another answer third.
Okay.
I get 81.
Mhm.
The square root of, not square root of first power.
So 81 to the power of 4.
Of 1
This is what you
will
got?
be equal.
This is what you got? This right here?
1, not 4.
81 to the power of 4.
The power
I
of
mean, 1.
1. Yeah.
Okay. So we have two different answers. That's number 1, that's number 2. Anybody else got a different answer?
I got 9.
You got 9?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you have around variant answers here. Anybody has a different answer? No, so okay. We have 3 different answers. Oh, wait, hold on, my chat. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay, well, let's go through this now. What I would do first is that I could say 27 is the same as 3 to the power of 3. So 27 raised to the power of half, raised to the power of a half is the same as 3 cubed raised to the power of a half. And then we have this multiplied by 3 to the power of a half. So you might be wondering, why would I convert 27 to 3 cubed? Because most of the rules that I have say that there are different ways to do this. This is just one way, right? I said this is the way I would do it. So I converted 27 to 3 cubed because most of the rules I have the same base. So I could apply this rule when multiplying them. AM is equal to A and M. Just one way of solving this, yeah? So I converted this so I can have the same base. I have 3 and I have a 3. The other rule I would apply here is this one. A n, this whole thing raised to the power of m is equal to A n. Wait, my bad. I was in the rule above. It's n plus n. N plus m. Right. So looking at this rule and then looking over here, I could say, okay, 3 cubed and this whole thing raised to the power of a half, according to my rule, is supposed to give me 3 raised to the power of 3 and 2. And then it's to still multiply by 3 to the power of a half. Okay, but I know I'm not done yet because I could apply this rule as well. So let me use purple. According to this rule, I have the same bases, so I have to add the powers when multiplying them. So this would be 3 to the power of 3 on 2 plus a half, which is equal to 3 to the power of 4 on 2, because 3 on 2 plus a half is 4 on 2. But we know that 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's the same as saying 3 to the power of 2, which is 9. So how was that? So the people who got this and this, you wanna tell me how you got that?
I say multiply 27 by 3 and then add the two bases.
You see, that's what I was saying. When I was going through the laws, I don't think you were here when I was saying that. But you see this, these laws, they must, all caps, underline, italics, must, in red, must have the same base if you're going to apply this rule. 27 and 3, they are not the same. What does that mean? These exponentials do not have the same base, and if they do not have the same base, I cannot apply this rule. That's a very common mistake. Like, you see, okay, 27 raised to the power of half times 3 raised to the power of half. Just apply this law and add the indices. No, that's not what you do. Not what you do. These must have the same base. So these two numbers must be the same. 27 and 3. They're not the same. So you cannot apply this rule here. That is why I converted 27 to 3 cubed. Because now I have the same base, 3 and 3. And I could apply this rule. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's Micaiah gave me this first one.
Yes, miss, I realized I made a mistake. So what I did was I used the rule a and 1 over n would be the n root of a. But I remember there was this square, but I wrote the 2 in front and I kind of just multiplied the 2 instead of just doing root 27 by root 3 to get 31, and I'll get 9.
You had this is equal to, that's what you had?
Yeah,
That's what you use?
yeah,
Okay. So you know where you went wrong, right?
yeah.
Nice, nice. That's what is most important, people. Okay. Question though. Let me use this rule now. So everybody go to this. I could erase this now.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Erase, 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 erase. I think I could erase this too. So I'm just going to write out what I think you have. Let me know if this is what you have, right? Oh. So you said that 27 raised to the power of half is the same as this. So you can put the 2
Yeah.
here, but it's understood. Okay. But then what did you do after this? After you do that, what you do?
Well, what I did was I multiplied the 2's because I just saw it there instead of just multiplying the 27 and the 3.
Ah, so
Yeah.
like I told you before, this raised to the power of 2, that's the same as, so if I had 2 raised to the power of this, you see this little 2 here? That's the same as just saying the square root of 2, right? So this 2 is unnecessary. It's the same as saying the square root of 2, right? So you could just leave on that for the people who weren't here when I said that, right? So for anybody who wasn't with me when we did surds, she also oh gosh, what was I trying to say? She also incorporated surds in her solution. So that's what I was saying. You see surds and indices, a lot of questions might require you to use your knowledge on those topics to find a solution, right? What she did, you could do this too, nothing wrong with this, right? What we did in surds, when we did surds, we said that this, gosh, it's a whole other topic right there, but it's okay, it's okay. So this is a rule from surds. The square root of A times the square root of B is the same as the square root of A times B. We did that in surds, right? So just showing you the alternate ways to work this and get the same answer, right? So according to this rule, the square root of 27 multiplied by the square root of 3 is the same as the square root of 27 times 3. 27 times 3, that's 81. And the square root of 81 is 9. So that's a different way to solve this question and still get the same answer. So I just wanted to show you that. So this is the second way, using surds. Third way, you could solve this question. I could erase this, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is the beauty of math. So many ways to solve one question. It's just amazing. Right. I could also, okay. I could also use, let me just erase this rule. I can erase this rule too. So remember the seventh rule that I showed you. It said AB raised to the power of a half is the same as A raised to the power of, oh gosh, no, that's not the rule. I'm mixing up the question and the rule. It says that A to the power of AB to the power of n is the same as A to the power of n. Sorry, I must be in trouble. A to the power of n times B to the power of n. So the first 2 ways I showed you, that's just 2 out of 3 ways you could do this question. Beauty of maths, huh? Okay, let's go. Right. So I could apply this rule here. 2 different bases, but they have the same power. According to this rule, 27 raised to the power of a half multiplied by 3 raised to the power of a half is the same as 27 times 3 raised to the power of a half. 27 times 3, that's 81. 81 raised to the power of a half. So you could just say, okay, 81 raised to the power of a half. Let me punch that into my calculator. Or you could use the rule that I was just talking about. The A to the power of 1 on n is the same as n to the power, this. A to the power of 1 on n is the same as n square root A, right? So 81 raised to the power of a half, that's the same as saying the square root of 81, which is also, it also gives me 9. So 3 different ways to solve the same question and get the same answer. You have to appreciate the maths here, okay? So how was that? Everybody understand the 3 different ways that I use to solve this
Yes.
question? Okay. So that just goes to show you there isn't one definite way to solve a question. Well, at least not all the time. Some questions you may use different methods and still arrive at the same answer. Correct methods, that is, because you could do something completely wrong and still get the same answer. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about different ways that are correct and getting the correct answer. Last question in this section, and then we'll move on. So the cube root of a multiplied by a to the power of -1, this whole thing squared. Can anybody tell me what answer they got for this one? Going once, going twice. Okay, well, I will do it then. For the first rule I would apply here, I see a cube root, and I know the rule. This is just me. Okay, let me not write it in that order. Yeah. Like I said, to solve all of these questions, all you need to do is know the rules, right? You see a question, you look at the list, and you decide which law you're going to use to solve your question. That's it. Just use the laws. Okay, so this law tells me that a to the power of 1n is equal to this. So I see a cube root. I know, okay, that's the same as saying a to the power of a 2 multiplied by, I also know another rule that states a to the power of n, and then this whole thing raised to the power of m is the same as a to the power of n times m. So I could say, okay, what does that mean for me? A to the power of -1, and then this whole thing squared is the same as a to the power of -2. Why? Because -1 multiplied by 2 gives me -2. But I don't stop there because I know I could simplify further. I know another rule that says when the bases are the same and they have different powers, well, actually, when the bases are the same and I'm multiplying them, what I do is that I add their powers. So how does this apply to my question? I see that they have the same basis and they multiply by each other. So I know to simplify it, what I have to do, I have to add the indices. And if I say a third plus -2, a third plus -2, that's the same as saying a third -2. What's that going to give me? A to the power of -9. Everybody good with that? Yes, no? Yes, no, maybe, kinda.
Yes, miss.
All you have to do in this topic, look
Maybe.
at your question. Okay, continue. Sorry. What you're saying?
No, I was in maybe understand, but not really sure.
Not really sure. Not really sure about which part.
It's okay, miss. I figure.
But nah, I need to make sure that you understand. All you're doing for indices, you have your laws. It would be 9 laws in total because I'm going to add one more. All you have to do, look at your question, look at your laws, decide which laws you're going to use, and apply them. It might take some practice, but it's okay. You practice, you get it. So if you have any questions about anything on the screen right now, please let me know. I am here to help you. So you don't have to go on. If you think that you learn best that way, you know, after class, like you sit down by yourself and you go through it, you do that. But you could ask me now. If you don't understand something on the screen, let me know, and I'll see if I could explain it another way to help you understand it. So, any questions? Anything I could help you with now to help you help you understand it better? Yes, no?
No, miss.
Okay. We're going to end this meeting and then we'll rejoin.